It's just text in. Say, I heard you and Kenneth talking about life without a veil. I think you were saying that life with the veil is also what is. There's just what is. There's just what's appearing to happen. And you see, the veil is kind of a lovely idea, because then it's something that can happen, but and that then can be objectified and held on to as an idea or an image. And so then it's, oh, when the veil is lifted, all will be revealed, and no, there's just simply and totally what's appearing to happen, including that, though, including the seeking for the image of life without a veil. But the response seems to be exactly this, that there's just what's appearing to happen. So seeking for life without the veil, or wondering about for life without the veil, or whatever, that would be what is. There isn't a veil. So the question was, is the veil also what is? There isn't a veil. There's just the movement of seeking that no one is doing. There's just seeking appearing to happen. You see, there isn't anything. There's just what's appearing to happen. Wholly what it appears to be. And it seems with language, and when there's a felt sense of here, that this is real, then there are things that can happen, and then that's what's sought. Things, there isn't a veil, so there's just simply what is. I mean, I used to love the image of that when the veil lifted, because it does evoke that suddenly it will be clear. What it's sort of a having for someone. So then ordinary sitting on a chair, breathing, sensing, feeling will be better. Essentially, will be more whatever, and all will be revealed as shiny. Amazingly, the newness is it feeling shit. That would be what is, or what's appearing to happen. And you wouldn't be there to know life without the veil. And you wouldn't be there because already you're not there. So you won't be there to claim your own absence. So in that sense, the veil is already gone, which is the good news and the terrible news. And it's a total mystery then. And it's a mystery that can't be solved, but then there's just no solving even the word mystery. But mystery is an interesting word. Really, it's the lostness in all the ideas of the veil and liberation and no self, and they're all kind of, they're subtle kind of traps, but you see, they're also just words in a way, and everything is objectified. So then even, you know, even nothing is objectified. I want to know nothing. I mean, that's amazing, really. And then in the end, it's just that the movement, that's where the bang in the head, you could say, happens, that all there is actually seeking, and it's just the energy then of seeking playing out for nothing. Come on, must be a little something in there. Must be a little little subtle difference. Come on.
Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Hey. So I feel a bit like it's kind of just this like obsession, just this obsession with it. And I think as part of me thinks like, God, just stop. Do you know what? Yeah.
Just stop. Yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah. Stop seeking. I'm never coming to another meeting, and I'm never watching another YouTube video.
Yeah, I feel mentally ill.
Yeah. In a way, you're not in a way, that's why it's kind of beautiful, really, because it's so, in some ways, intellectually even so obvious that there's nobody driving the dream bus. I'm definitely never, and there's also, you know, all there is what's appearing to happen. So you're not coming to a meeting, you're not interested in non-duality. You know, you're not looking at YouTube videos, you're not obsessed with non-duality. There's just what's appearing to happen. And then, of course, this is the story about all that, about that. And at the same time, it's nothing. It's nothing. But then in the ordinariness of it, it's just so wonderfully, completely ungraspable, you know. And like somebody might say to me, I was chatting to somebody recently, and they were saying something like, well, you've been into non-duality for 15 years. And I have no idea what they're talking about. I have no idea what non-duality is. I mean, I can give a definition of what apparently is used, but it's nothing to do with anything. Do you know? It's not about the language. It's not, you know, so it's about, non-duality is smoking 20 cigarettes. If that's the case, non-duality is smoking 20 cigarettes and drinking a bottle of whiskey. That's non-duality, because there's just what's appearing to happen. And then somehow there's like fucking stories that are unbelievable. Like it's just like phenomenal. And this is kind of end of the story, but saying it's the end of the story is also a story. Nobody knows. Nobody knows anything. And in a way, nobody knows. Yeah, nobody knows anything. But yet, some stories are held to be real. Some appear to talk with total conviction, and it as growing up, then it seems like it has to be known. And then the currency of the world of navigating through is knowing, and like somebody was saying about knowledge is power the other night, and like that idea is like that is the currency of the world, is knowledge. And it's and like all you have to do is just watch kids playing, banging sticks off the ground, and go, right, they seem to be tipping away, appear to be, without knowledge. How is that? They're not very powerful. It's just so inexplicable. And where do you begin and end with the inexplicableness? It's like the piece of dirt. It's just a piece of dirt. All right. But that's what it's called anyway. But I've no idea how you're calling it or anything at all. It's just wow. But it's not wow about a piece of dirt. It's a piece of, they're calling it a piece of dirt, and you just go, right. It's in everything, as everything. Where does it begin and end? It doesn't. So then, so the wonderful news that like it's already over. Bar the shouting. It's just, it's all these. I don't know. It's so just exactly what is being described.
Just say I should go to the pub instead of coming to these fucking
For fuck's
meetings.
sake. Get to the fucking pub.
I did earlier.
Jesus.
Thanks.
Or don't get to the pub. Do whatever you appear to be doing. Is that advice? Do appear what you ever you appear to be doing. I think that's not advice. It's yeah.
Hey Frank.
Hey,
So do you still have like I like personal problems? Like challenges? Like real challenges? Or has that gone, that kind of impression?
well, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean exactly? Do you mean like money problems
Yeah,
or?
so yeah. Something like so okay, like when I take myself as an example, so I have two major challenges, I call it, like, and the other one is that I find myself to be completely against the I call it artificial system, like the way money and work and all this thing is structured and organized. But the reality is we are still living in a world somehow where money is necessary and work as well. So and I just was wondering, like inside there was just this, I was wondering, how is it for you? Like, do you feel like also this that you have topics in your life where you sense quite a challenge, or is it just only what's happening and it's everything is done by itself and blah 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 blah?
Well, it's just the problems appear, and then responses and whatever, sometimes getting really frustrated, worrying about money, worrying about the kids, general whatever, it's just everything, it's absolutely everything is possible. So that's the dream. I could write a book on my problems, if you know what I mean, but it'd just be a total story and a bore. But it includes absolutely everything, you know. So that's the dream, that it's is going around and everything is just unfolding. So so no, but there is just what's appearing to happen, and in that everything is possible. So then it's kind of like, where does the story begin and end about life? Do you know what I mean? What part? Like, there was no milk in the fucking fridge this morning. But you know what I mean? Like, where does it begin and end? And so it's everything, totally ordinary, normal, whatever. This is totally inexplicable. It's not like a free ticket where it's over there suddenly, once removed from frustration, or once removed from whatever. It's just everything comes and goes, and thoughts come and go, feelings, everything. And there's probably like the 7 billion stories about what is, and it's still what is. And in the collapse of all the stories, this everything, like, everything, if there's a bus coming, there isn't a reaction. And I'm not going to say, God, that's the story, bus. I'm just going to stand here and get knocked down and whatever. You know what I mean? So it's just so totally normal, and yet the normal is seen to be, that it's just so totally ordinary, and that ordinary is seen not to be phenomenal, but then that makes it seem like, if I'm fucking annoyed about something, it's just everything is so kind of reactive, and then comes and goes. Maybe there's just none of the constraints of how it should be. There's just how it is, but it's just how it is. So it's just so, I could talk for hours about that, but it's just more, it's story as opposed to the end of stories. Do you know what I mean? That's what we're talking about, this suddenness. So everything is possible. Sorry. And that's the full onness of this. Like, we're talking about full on edgy being alive, worries, thoughts, everything. Just, that's the mystery, that's the inexplicableness, that's the aliveness that somehow comes as known. That's just life. There's, that's just, as opposed to what sought is for it to be other, as opposed to the fullness of really fucked off. It's totally full to the brim with fucked off and annoyed then. And it's exactly the same. So then you could say that without the constraints, the character is free to be exactly how they are. But there was there's a kind of like, there's the dream then, when there's no self, I'm going to just quit my job and fucking go crazy, But there isn't a self, there's just that character with all, maybe you could say that the nuances, but that's the story. It's just nothing happens. And then life is just free to be exactly how it is, including the thoughts, the shit, the feelings, everything, just as it is there, exactly that. So, however that is then, however that unfolds, you can't do, you're not doing an inch of it, including the feeling of, but I am now, come on. I make choices and whatever,
Okay, and when I hear you, like right now, like I think then that awareness is then an aspect of this separate sense of self. Like only when here is someone to be aware of something, and then there is this like kind of sense of, oh, I'm aware of the thoughts, the feelings, the actions, whatever, then that would be part of this, what you describe is not there.
already not there though.
Already not there.
Already, so that it can't fall away. So
Mm.
then if you're describing awareness and whatever else, and if that's felt to be real, then that's felt to be real.
Mm-hmm.
But I've no clue about it. And awareness, consciousness, all those things, they're just words that people seem to use, and they have that's felt to be real. Then to me, it's just a total story, awareness and all that.
Oh, I find that beautiful. Yeah, that's lovely.
So
Yeah.
there's just what's appearing to happen, however that fucking is. And then, of course, though, if there's a story or a feeling or something felt, then, but that is also what's happening. It's utterly inescapable, utterly and completely inescapable. So every thought, are you mean to tell me, Frank, that it's everything? You mean it's this reaction? It's the thought? It's the, what? Or the fuck? No. You mean to tell me everything, every thought, every but is this as that? Is this unbelievableness? Everything, even the reaction of, yeah, but I still feel something's not quite right. I still feel a self here. Okay, right. That would be what is, though. Sorry. It's the great news and the terrible news. Or just the news. Or nothing. Everything
Yeah.
is included, yeah. So that you won't do a recognition. You won't do stop and seeking. You won't do a thing, and you haven't ever done a thing. You haven't ever come to a meeting. You're not interested in non-duality. There's just what's appearing to happen. Not an inch, like not an inch. I mean, that's amazing. So then the reaction then can be laughter, can be fucking deep sorrow maybe, or whatever. Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck, what, what sort of reaction do you give to this? Could be the reaction. That could be the reaction, Is asked, if seeking stops, does the sense of being a separate self also stop? So there is no separate self, and there is no separate self to recognize that there is no separate self. So there is already no separate self in there. Now, if what's being said and felt is that there is, then that's what is. That's what's being described. There's no clue here apart from, actually, not apart from anything. There's no clue here. Sorry, Laura, I jumped in and read that. If there was something else that you might want to say.
Oh, no
Obviously.
problem. Well, that's also what happens, no?
And this inescapable. Oh yeah, everything.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there was just this smart ass thought where I don't even know why it pops up. It was like, yeah, but still, like Frank is Frank and Laura is Laura, and there are some form of, let's say, unique thoughts, feelings, actions which somehow are related to the body of, for example, Frank, connected and blah blah blah. That was only just yeah.
But
it's
in
like,
essence, utterly and completely and totally unique.
yeah,
Utterly and completely and totally incomparable, never to be repeated, gone like it never was, and it never was. It's just gone. Like, where do you see the similarities? There, it appears like it's like these sorts of meetings. It appears like similar words are being used, but in essence, it's the total newness of this. You know, it's in everything, and so the problem is if it feels like stale or knowable or predictable, that's still the incomparableness. It's falling, constantly falling through hands, and you know what I mean? It's just disappearing, gone, constantly gone. And you never catch it, and you won't catch the attempt to catch it. And it's like the knowing movement. It's a knowing movement, but it can't know its own attempt to know. Do you know what I mean? And it is a bit weird because it's so wholly, completely just that. So just trying to know or just trying to get it or whatever.
I have such strong different opinions in my head, and I fucking cannot drop them. It's like,
Yeah, but
really, yeah.
go
Yeah.
on. Like what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So now then I would say, okay, fine, yeah, but but
Yeah. But
but that sounds to me as if you are just describing, like, let's say, the principle of of the, let's say, natural reality, which is not knowable for me, yeah, which I don't know, yeah,
not noble for me. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. There's
And
nothing. There's nothing here for you, but you're not here. There's just this here-ness. There's just what's appearing to happen. Including the felt sense, perhaps, that, oh, well, I am now. Hold on now. But I am. And if that's what's felt, and then that's what's felt. So if you're saying this is real and that you're there, then that's what's being described. If that's felt to be the real, then that's what's felt to be the real. But like,
I'm not so
are you sure?
Exactly.
Yeah. 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 I'm not so sure. Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty, yeah. Already know one.